Milanisti everywhere. Hey, how's it going? It's your three favorite hosts from the best channel ever in the history of YouTube. Milanista 360. So it's a high claim for itself. Screw it, everyone else lies, right? So welcome to the podcast from me, Shane Malaga, Mr. Lab Gorilla in the UK, and Mr. Dart Negativity there over in Malaysia. So it's great to see you guys. Thanks for joining us. We've quite a packed lot of stuff to get through today and something a bit different than we usually cover. So enjoy the show. Hosni, over to you, man.
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting, as Shane mentioned. A few topics, and we have two games to preview. But other than that, it's been a bit of a slow week. I mean, don't you agree, John? It's nothing much has happened in the world of Milan. Or you have some surprises for us.
There's been a few weird things in the media. You know, when the media gets bored, they start to come up with BS, right? So the Conte talk has dropped off in Italy again. And Forlani has actually said, very annoyed to hear about Conte being linked with us. I think we are going to assess Pioli at the end of the season. So suddenly all the media went, oh my God, Pioli's staying for another year, which I know you love that, Shane. You'll be really excited about that. But the other thing was, the big news is Redbird have bought the land for apparently less than 40 million euros on San Donato, on the back of the Council of Milan sending out drawing plans for the San Siro to be renovated. So they clearly pooped their pants, got very nervous that suddenly Milan and Inter maybe were going to walk away and they were going to be left in trouble. So what do? They literally went and paid an architect to design a stadium renovation, said it will cost 300 million, said that they would share the price with Milan and Inter to try and entice them. And guys, they are talking to Inter and Milan in the next couple of weeks. So let's hope to God this does not happen. The funniest thing in the press, however, do you guys remember the beautiful Barbara Berlusconi? Do you remember her? Yes.
A bit hard to
Those
remember, sir.
very well, yeah.
A few
Yes.
of the players do.
Few of the players do, right? She came out and said that plan that the council has come up with is an absolute joke. When I was in charge at Milan, none of this stuff, we looked into it, and 300 million, that is not even a drop in the ocean for the renovation. And then obviously the council has said, what does she know about anything? It's brilliant. This was all done in the press. It was hilarious. Let's say we bought San Donato, bought the land, so they're pushing ahead. But the thing that came out yesterday in the Gazzetta, guys, the predicted date for the stadium to be ready was supposed to be at the earliest 2027, right? Now the Gazzetta saying the realistic date is 2029. So your joke, Shane, about flying cars might be true, man.
Looking
So
forward to it. Because here's
yeah,
one
yeah.
thing, though, John, right? I bet you know what they basically put into the renovation plans from the city of Milan, from the council? They basically just said, oh, screw it. Let's just use the same broken stadium and put in new toilets.
Yeah, probably 300 million new toilets.
Just paint it.
Just paint it. Paint it. Build an extension. Right? That's pretty much it, man. And so the worst thing about that situation is that it's not going to serve Milan at all well in the future, right? Because there's still, going to be so much money that's just going directly into the city council's pockets, right? There's not going to the club. And the second thing, which is even more disastrous, right? It's basically going to make sure Inter's piss poor spending habits stay so unpunished, because it's like they'll literally be given, a new house to live in for free.
Yeah.
It's like so poor.
Yeah. Squatters, Inter are squatters. You like that, Hasni. Do you know what we found out was quite interesting from the local councillor? He said that if Inter and Milan walk away, that stadium to maintain every year is costing them 10 million euros just to maintain it from collapsing. So isn't that interesting, huh? What happens when we walk away?
Yeah, well,
To
my
Inter,
take on it is that if you ask me, I think that stadium does have somewhat of a value. Yeah, I mean, they can do some things with the land. I mean, this was one of the plans that they did circulate to some of the teams and all that, about them wanting to make the area greener and there were spaces for commercial and all that, that BS. So I would say that land itself has value. I don't think they'll just leave it abandoned or let it become derelict for too long. But my opinion, the train has left the station. Why would we actually want to make a U-turn and go back to the San Siro after all the effort that's been made and all the discussions? I think this ownership, in a very American way, is all about action, right? We want something to do it. We're going to move it. We're going to move it at our own pace and without anyone interfering. So that is one of the things that came to me. But one of the things that I think related to this issue that I was a bit surprised, and I don't know if the rumors are true. You guys heard that PRF might be more inclined to buy Roma than
Roma.
give Jerry that loan. What do you guys think about it? Because one of the things that was, in the media about Cardinale meeting investors from the Middle East, trying to essentially get the money to pay back Elliott. So I don't think PRF would have like a limited amount of money to like fund several or put the money into a lot of clubs. So will we see Elliott drop an Argentinian warship on Cardinale's head because he doesn't have the money? We could actually be going back.
Excellent reference. Excellent reference. Very good.
Yeah, but that looks so bad though. Like from an optical view, right? Because if you think about it, like how many quote unquote new owners does that make in the last half a decade? Like I know Elliott were already there, right? But let's class them as a new owner again. So that's 4. Like, dude, like it. And the thing, but can you imagine Roma winning something? It's like but they're not like they don't have much international pull. I think that's kind of smoke and mirrors, to be honest. Because like if you have a choice of buying a club that has international appeal and one that's kind of supported in Rome and hardly anywhere else, like where I mean, come on, like. I mean, I'd just be worried in case they buy Inter, because God help us then, like, we're never going to win anything ever again.
Yeah, it's definitely a strange rumor, but I have no idea about how much weight I can give it. I haven't seen anything in the press about it in Italy, at least in the Milan press. So I'll wait.
But if you ask me, I'd rather have a resurgent Roma than a dominant Inter. I mean, look at how they're playing this season. I really don't want to see it ever again. How they're playing, how we're playing, I just can't stand it. We have to be better.
It's crazy, and you know that the Serie A is already in the bag for them as well, and that just hurts. Like, so badly.
Man. I mean, what have they got? 7 points on Juve, 11 on us. Forget it. Although, to be fair now, come on, the Champions League campaign is about to re-begin for them. They've just got an injury for Acerbi, and De Vrij came on. Yes, guys, I'll admit to it. I was watching Inter last night, and I did bet. When they went to 2-2, I put money on Inter, knowing that it was going to be an easy bet, and I did make my money. So it's the best thing we can do. I was saying to Husney, best thing you can do as a Milan fan right now is just relieve the pain a little bit. Bet on Inter.
I got something better. Sorry, I got something better. I think the only way that we'll actually have a chance, or Juve has a chance to win the league, is that if they find some narcotics in the interchanging room at the Boston and sent to jail for like a few weeks.
Berlusconi would have made it happen.
He would have.
Like, but can you imagine if Inter
mix some of that sauce in their drinks and set them up for a drugs test, right?
Can you imagine if Inter do the double though? Right, and they win the Serie A and they win the Champions League.
No, stop.
Just close the channel at that point, Husney.
We close the channel. You're buying the Durex kit.
That's it.
If they do the double, you buy that kit, and you're going to put Inter on the back. Oof.
That's it. All right, go on. I'll take that. I don't know how
another good bet.
Out of that. Yeah.
We had Nico. Absolutely, we're in third. We'll win the Europa. Therefore, we're good. We are not good, man. We are
No,
not
we're not.
good.
We're not.
The three of us are not of that age where we think that this is good. Oh God, so many conversations at the moment, isn't it, guys? The fan base is split in the middle, saying we're doing all right, and some of us are like, we remember the glory days, and this is not it.
I
Yeah,
remember
so
that those same fans were taking the piss out of Roma as well for doing a run
yeah,
in the Europa.
right, and was it Europa Conference League, wasn't it?
That
Trying to
was it,
remember.
and that's just as pointless as the Europa League is to me. It's kind of
Well,
like, you know, the equivalent where they give out medals. I think it's more of a thing that happens in America, but they give out medals to everyone that participates in a race. And I don't know what message you're trying to give to someone there. It's like,
well, it's
congratulations, you're a failure. Well done.
let's make more money.
Yeah.
Couple of things, guys. We should probably in a future episode discuss the new Champions League format, because one of the things that's come out is that they're going to be expecting matches to be played in January. So the actual, remember the fact that we've not had injuries for quite a while. Yeah, it came out in the press in Italy that these all suspect that at Milan the reason for this is because we're playing only one game a week. We're going to be in the Champions League campaign. You're going to be expected to play January as well, and then Coppa d'Italia is going to kick in. Good luck. And Fabio, I'm not showing you anything. We did a podcast yesterday. You're welcome to have a look at that and enjoy it.
You have to subscribe to the OnlyFans, Fabio, for that content.
Children. Yes. That's a special price for that podcast, man. Should we start, guys, with the preview?
Sure.
Yeah, let's get going with the preview. So, I mean, I've done quite a lot of research on this because of that betting podcast. Do you want me to start?
Sure.
Okay. So, guys, this is brilliant. I think Napoli are going to do a worse title defense than us. I think they're going to take the record away from us. So celebrate that, guys. There's something else that for the Milan fans to celebrate this season. They're 25
sorry, John.
points. Yeah.
I have to clip that. I think you just jinxed this because you when all the stack
Napoli are crushing us 4-0.
Oh, sugar. Why did I say that? Right. They are 25 points behind Inter as of today. They have the same goals conceded per game ratio as us, 1.2 goals per game. This is what betting does for you. You see, it's useful sometimes. But they score an average of 1.5 goals per game. Osimhen is not present because obviously he's playing AFCON, and just like Chucky is in the final of AFCON. And they are coming off in Serie A. They've only been unbeaten in the last 3 games. We're coming off 6 games unbeaten streak. So again, what do you fancy on that? For me, and I was talking to Nathan yesterday, what we did, more than 2.5 goals in the game. I think it's going to be quite a few goals. And I think Milan will win through this messy style that we play because Napoli are just as bad defensively as us. So yeah, there's my preview. I think I've heard that Benacer is going to start alongside Adli. But the rest of the squad is going to be identical. Oh, and guys, I wanted to know, what do you think about the news that Simic has been dropped back to the Primavera? Shane, go.
Well, I mean, like when you have Baresi reborn, that is Gabbia. You know, like what you need a shining young gem to play in defence for, when you can get a guy that was basically called back to the club that couldn't, you know, play a fucking Europa League game for Villarreal. So you obviously put them in for experience, right? Look, it's very disappointing. It's completely in line with the questionable decisions that Pioli makes, and we should be used to it by now. I mean, you know yourself, like we're never going to see Zeroli. We're never going to see him right at this point. And I thought that there was some hope that we'd actually, see him on the pitch a bit more, especially when Krunic left. But obviously not. Racing who
Zeroli.
exactly? Remember, this is the time of Moneyball. Club legends and history doesn't matter. What matters, Nico, is having a positive balance sheet and rocking out against FC fucking Carrier Bag. That's what matters now.
Get in there, Shane. Come on. Get in there, man. Zeroli's got an injury, have you heard? Unbelievable.
Is it muscular? Did they cripple him already?
Yes,
fucking of course it is. Brilliant.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's the passage. Was it the rites of passage, right? I mean, you got to get injured to get into the first team. You can't be injury free and get in the first team. It's impossible.
Hey, Nico, agreed. 2 turtles at centre back.
But isn't Tamori Kalulu and
guys, that's on Shane on Pioli Corner. I'll get to that. He tells us about it. Yeah, good feedback on that. Husney, what do you think about the preview? Do you think we're winning it? I think we're winning it, but a messy win.
Of course, I always want us to win it, but the way that I've seen our games, the past 2 or 3 games, we are so into these late goals, these careless mistakes. It's like the team is not, their minds are not in the game anymore. This is the issue that I have in terms of how we actually manage the game, right? So Pioli, he's just going to pray that we survive until the 60th, 70th minute. Then he's going to expect the super sub brilliance to come off the bench and really score the winning goal. That's not going to happen.
Brilliance.
Yeah, I don't know what games he's watching, by the way. Maybe he's looking at, I don't know what's. Yeah, by the way, Giroud was a super sub for Arsenal, so maybe he's watching a lot of this old Arsenal games, expecting the new Giroud, which is Jovic, to actually do the job each and every game. But it's not going to happen. But the one thing that I really fear, because I know that both sides going to win it, want to win it, really going to go for it. Us, because we need the points. Napoli is more of a face-saving measure. They need the points just to, like you said, John, make their tower defense, which is already so bad, not that bad. So there's probably going to be a lot of tension in the game. But if we do win it, it's going to be somewhat of a late mess that goes on. Maybe like a penalty, something to be decided in the 80th, 90th minute. Other than that, I do not see ourselves imposing our style into the game and really dominating it from the get-go or from the second half. This is not how the Pioli trains his team. But yeah, hopeful that we win it. Not surprised if we don't.
Yeah. Oh, yes, Fabio, I like it. I'm not repeating what you wrote, though, but yeah, I agree with you. They're going to fold like something. Stop it. This is getting a bit mad today. Anything else you want to say about the game, guys? Otherwise, we can move to Pioli Corner and catch up a bit of time.
All right, so let's.
I hope we win, but who cares really?
This is getting Shane. Come on, man. Listen, we are raising money for charity. We need Milan to score. We need plenty of goals. Milan to win. I bet on Leao to be first goal scorer for the first time in Serie A in many months. And Nathan, I think, has bet on Politano to be the first goal scorer. So we do care.
When I say who cares, right? We're so comfortable now in third. It's like we're in the Champions League, pretty much. I mean, for fuck's sake, like it's just so hard to get ripped up about this game. And Napoli was always going to be junk the following season anyway. It's like, I'm so
well, this is a team that's built on dumpster diving, isn't it? This is what happens.
Speaking of charity, speaking of charity, we are a charity. We're like a charity from all the Premier League dump offs. That's kind of what we are now.
Oh my goodness! Come on, I'm going to bring some positivity here. Come on. All right.
I shouldn't have had that margarita at lunchtime. It's screwing me up.
Yeah, you're very positive today, Shane. Right. First question. At Atalanta, CDK is doing incredibly well as a centre forward. Why did you deploy him as a cam where obviously he doesn't work very well? Pioli's answer: because we needed to deploy him there for the team. He is having a great season, and remember that he's also a year older. Well done, Pioli. Smart answer. I give you that.
Wait a second.
How is
So he didn't give the real answer, which is, oh, I didn't want him in the team in the first place. Maldini brought him to us, right?
that's read between the lines, maybe. Yeah. So next question. How is Benacer? He came back from AFCON with a small knock, but it's all resolved and will be available from the start tomorrow. Chow is also now training with the group and is improving day by day. If all goes well, he will be called up for the Europa League game. Next week will also be very important for Kalulu and Tomori, and by the end of next week, we will know how close they are to returning. So far, the recovery is going to plan. Now, I'm going to say something now, but it's going to hurt you a little bit, but you have to listen to it. How do you feel about matching the number of games in charge as Saki? Pioli said he led his own era. He was a revolutionary, and his name is written in Milan history. So to match his number of games makes me feel honored and proud. Okay. What is your opinion on Jovic as a starter? And then please comment on Camarda, who is scoring some incredible goals with the Primavera. Jovic is a good player. He can either start as a striker or alongside Giroud. There is no fixed plan there. On Camarda, clearly there is growth that he is experiencing with us and with the Primavera. I believe that he has the potential to truly become a Milan senior team striker one day. I don't know when that day is, maybe 2029. Next question. People have questioned you, but this week has been more positive. Leao says that you're like a father figure to him. Forlani likes you, and Theo also supports you. What do you have to do to win back the fans? Pioli stood there, smiled, looked at the reporter and said, I have to win every game. Next question. Last year, you deployed Benacer as a cam, and he did a lot of damage against Napoli. Is there any plan to try this again? He says, there is no chance of that. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is our designated attacking midfielder. But as you know, I don't like fixed positions. Hence, if situations arise in the game for Benacer to shoot from distance or take on players, he should take his chances, but starting from a deeper position. You said last week that we had to score more than the opponents. Why have you stated this? Pioli said, because it's what our squad is built to do, because it's the type of football we like, because we don't like defending, or moreover, it's not that we don't like defending, it's that we are made to be more in the offensive phase, to give more in the offensive phase, partly because of the player characteristics and partly because of my ideas on how to play the game. We are still working, but we need to focus on the positive aspects. That's the best of Pioli Corner. So we know that Chow sounds like he's going to be dropped into the Europa League squad, just like that, straight after an injury. Sounds like we might get some positive news on Tomori and Kalulu. And now Pioli's openly saying that defending is not his thing at all. What do you think about those things? Shane, let's go with you first.
Yeah, so one of the best comments ever there from Pioli was there's no fixed plan there. And that's pretty much like Pioli's tactics, just boiled down there. Like, I mean, he's literally sold himself out. In the context though of giving or kind of insinuating that players like Benacer should have a bit more creative freedom. Again, that kind of speaks to what Pioli's doing, right? So there doesn't seem to be much there in terms of him having an expectation that a player will work within the system that he dictates, right? It's kind of like he just buys he just uses what he hopes are the 11 best players to just go and do what they want, right? So imagine if you're the manager who actually said, listen, this is your job. I need you to do this. Do not do anything else, please. And, keep doing it and we can win this game. Imagine if that could be the case. Like, we might actually be successful. So, yeah, fuck, man. It's like so deflated right now.
It's interesting to hear him say we no longer want to defend. He's finally. He's like week by week by week. He was leaving that kind of trail of breadcrumbs to lead you to the truth, which was we don't want to defend. We want to be a Premier League team.
Yeah, keep in mind in Syria,
yeah,
you don't want to defend. Like,
yeah,
it says something if it was the Europa, right? But in the Europa, they'll get, look, it's going to be fine. But as soon as they meet like a physical, like strong attacking, like imagine them against Liverpool, guys. Can you imagine? Like they'll get ripped a new one.
As a fan, I want to see it, Shane. I want to see it because that's the games that I became a fan watching. But I don't know how this team would cope with that.
Not a chance. Not a chance, man. Even with our best 11, not a chance. Not a chance.
Hasn't he? Any comments on those, Pioli? Statements?
Yeah, I want to respond to the fact that a lot of players have been singing or making the statements in support of Pioli. I mean, let's face it. If you're a player and you want to get picked, or you actually want to keep, getting food at the canteen or wherever the hell you have to say nice things, right? If not, you're just going to be ad-lead or Krunic or how good into the Primavera team, because that's what Pioli is capable of. If he doesn't like a player, regardless of how you're playing, he's going to dump you.
Just call him your dad. That's what you should do, isn't it? Sounds like. Yeah. Call him your dad, will pick you every game. Hey, Dad.
It's like these players are forced to say nice things. But one of the things that I've noticed in some of the interviews, Theo said this, and I think Leao said this. I don't know if it's a reporter or who else was asking them, but Maldini's name still does come up. So if I remember one of those recent interviews with Theo, he did say that, he was nervous to meet Maldini. I mean, let's just take the impact of the club in context here. Pioli wasn't the one who called them and said, please come to the club. He didn't meet Theo in Ibiza and ask him to become part of the project. There are other actors or there are other important people that play here. And they're the ones who I think you could say, if I was Theo or Leao, really you have to attribute your career to. Because it's not Pioli. Yeah? Pioli is not discovering anyone. Pioli apparently didn't have much of a say during that time. So what is he then? Yeah, he's just a coach that managed to get good results from the team after Gianpaolo, which is, let's face it, not a very high benchmark anyway. Did very well through the COVID period. We went undefeated for a very long time. We led the league in the following year. And guess what? We pissed it away to Conte's Inter. I wanted him out, but next season he redeemed himself by winning the league. And we're back to square one in the sense that I think he's outlived his usefulness. So a lot of people have been commenting, if I've been looking at the chat and all that, whether or not the players are really in support, based on what things they do in the pitch. So let's look at some of the key errors that we're seeing. Terracciano, I think Nico, when he was on, he pointed out, bringing in a young player when it was tight, still tight at the time. Putting Musa as right back. Is this guy still learning on the job? He's close to the end of his term, but
maybe not.
Yeah, you're right, John. Maybe not. Maybe he's going to get... I don't think it's an extension. Maybe he'll see out his full year. They just don't want to pay him that additional 1 year holiday. But with regards to that, the journalists are asking the right questions, but it's not for the players to answer in a truthful manner. They all want to keep their positions, especially Leao.
No, Leao is... He's gone a bit over the top there to say he's like a father figure. Like, come on, mate. I was shocked to hear that, and the reporter, I thought, God, Leao, what's wrong with you? I guess he wants to be
because because the thing is he just kind of seems like, it's just that type of guy that just like clocks in at 9 a.m. Doesn't really give a fuck. Doesn't, I'm talking about, well, I'm not even talking about Leao. And it could also be talking about Leao. It's just he kind of clocks in at 9 a.m., right? Dicks around for a couple of hours, right? Looks like he's being semi-productive, goes on a 3-hour lunch and then leaves you in the shit. You know what I mean? But he somehow, because something weird happened at a Christmas party a couple of years ago, he's still in the position, right? So it's like, it's that weird vibe, man. They're very ineffective. But the thing is, at least I'll say with Leao, I know he's not scoring as much, but he's clocking them assists up, right? So he's
Oh,
still
he's
somewhat
contributing. I've
functional.
got no question.
He's
He's
contributing.
contributing, Shane. Yeah, he's contributing.
Yeah. I
And
don't know
tonight he's
what I
going to
can say
score for
about
me.
Pioli though, contributing. Because if you think about it this way, it's like I think our best players are literally just left to do whatever they want to do, and there doesn't seem to be any plan.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. I agree with that. I mean, what more evidence do you need than the goals against Stade, and also even the defending we broke down last week with Nico is incredible, isn't it? It's just like, just do what you want, guys. If you all want to run after the ball like little children, do it. I'll give you candy. I'll stop there. I'm getting carried away here.
Can you imagine Pioli's next job interview is like, okay, what do you think is suited for the job? You can say, do you know how many players have called me their dad? His dad? Who's your daddy, right?
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
Oh dear.
Hobbies.
Dear.
Being on a bicycle. Flattering to deceive that I can actually win something more than once.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the next thing you want to talk about? Is it the merch? Is it the merchandise stuff?
Yes, it is. Now, this is a segment that I set up especially for you guys because I know everyone's in the hype of the latest fourth kit drop, but I thought to actually do a special segment about what have the other drops actually look like. So there's some special collections that I've curated for you guys by PowerPoint, and let me pull that up.
Ooh.
So this
yes
is the fourth kit that was announced recently, and I know that there's been quite a lot of hype about it. Personally, I do like it, especially the black. The reason being is that, it has to do with the design, and I like what they did about incorporating the pattern. I think the pattern reflects the.
Is it the Duomo?
Yeah, the Duomo.
Duomo di Milano. Is that what the pattern is?
I think so. So I really like the fact that they incorporate elements from the city itself. So it doesn't have to be like some overly funky. Because as I go through the slides, you'll see
the white one looks like
theme.
wallpaper that you'd find in a 1970s apartment, though. The white one. Is it? It doesn't look good.
Do you know, guys? I think somebody sent me this. Was it you, Nico? Someone sent me that I could get it from the official Puma store for £67, the black kit, and I chose not to. But I literally had it there ready to go because I did like the black kit. And you heard right that they're going to be switching the two game to game. So I think in this game is going to be one color for the outfield players and one color for the goalkeeper, and then they're going to switch over for the next game, which is quite cool actually. And in case you wanted to know, Pioli likes the black one best. That was part of his interview, which I obviously didn't put in. So I have the same taste as Pioli in shirts.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. No, he's right, dude. That I was thinking about buying it yesterday, and I was like, I'm just at a certain point in my annual balance sheet that I can't justify paying that much on it. But like, I really like the dark one.
And they sold out. Like yesterday was sold out. Within an hour of me going on the website, it was all sold out. Couldn't get it anymore.
Yeah.
So.
But that's the draw about these fourth kits is that, and not just about the fourth kit, but any kit, if it's designed very well, I think it'll sell very well. So it doesn't have to be like, I'm sorry, I don't like this season's kit, I didn't buy it. But had this actually, maybe if they had a bit of a red accent here and there, had that been our home jersey, maybe it would have been much better sales. But then again, I don't know how the deal is with Puma in terms of how they reflect it. Maybe Puma takes the entire share, so they probably don't care. As long as they just make a shirt and they just put it up for sale.
Just on Fabio's last message there, I'll wait until he's in the NYC Puma store, right? Didn't someone buy the home jersey a couple of days before it was released because they went into the NYC Puma store? Illegal. Fabio, do you remember who
Yeah.
that was?
So yeah, Fabio, who was that? It was cost someone his job, isn't it? It was a Juventino, I think. Oh, I think I agree with that. The crest in color would have been nice too. Oh yes,
So this is the
hats, guys.
collaboration with New Era. John is a big fan of hats, and he probably has a great collection. So, John, I mean, what is your take in terms of how the caps are?
Absolutely love it, guys. I really do love it. And they've brought out a line which is basically they've got loads of colors and the flags of individual nations as well. Don't know if you've seen that one. So I might get the Brazil one, which is kind of green. It's quite cool. Yeah, no, I love caps. It's I've always collected caps. When I was younger, I used to collect American football team caps as well, which now have become valuable, and I got rid of them. But yeah, no, I love. Obviously, the white hat is my favorite by a mile. It took a long time for me to get it, and the other thing, and I feel sorry for you guys that have huge shipping costs. Something has happened, and in the UK, shipping from Milan store has become free. So I was able to get the cap for just £30 with no shipping fee whatsoever. And it came by UPS for free. So really, really happy with that. Someone has sorted that out nicely for our fans here in the UK. I don't know, Shane, about Spain, or I suppose it should be similar, no?
I know, because in Spain, if I bought something and asked for it to get delivered, it never would be. And the post guy just keep it, because that's happened a couple of times.
Oh,
like,
crap.
It's fucking like the postal situation here is fucking amazing. Even the address of my apartment is not visible anywhere, right? There's Google Maps, it doesn't exist, right? Like,
Shane's living in the multiverse, another dimension. For those who are watching.
Wow. Like Spain is like Europe light. You expected everything will work. No one gives a fuck. It doesn't work. It's like,
yeah.
By the way, shout out to all the Spanish viewers watching this. Yeah, we still love you guys.
Oh, big time. I live here. It's a lovely country and the people are great. But sometimes having a laid back vibe isn't always that good. That's all I'm saying.
So this is the Off-White. This is a special one where it's a bit of a campaign about supporting sport for change. I have this piece from Off-White. Coincidentally, this is one of the cheaper Off-White pieces that they did announce last year. It was a once-off, very nice, red and black, and on the back they had the Milan Demon imprinted. So yeah, a bit simple, but we will tend to see this. And as we go through the later videos, I'll actually point out a theme to you about how we are becoming more of a streetwear brand in terms of how we position ourselves. So not so much the suits, but more street, if you guys agree with that. So what do you think of this? Nice and simple?
Not for me, man. I'll be honest. Not for me. I don't know. I think shirts and things that have statements like that just don't work for me. So I don't know how you feel about it, Shane.
No, I'm the same way. It's kind of like virtue signaling. It's like, but you know what the best T-shirt I ever seen was? It was a black T-shirt, right? And just written in white on it was "I wit stupid," right? And the arrow was pointing down. And I could never find where the guy got it from, but it was brilliant. So other than that, it's it's not great, man. Not great.
Fabio's comment is not going to show up later on. That YouTube will remove that automatically, mate. All right.
And this is our when Off-White was unveiled as our outfitting partner. This was actually the kits that the suits that they actually wore for the pitch inspection and also for their formal events. One of the players that we do miss there, our someone who's probably watching your segment, John, about gambling.
Degenerate.
So, probably was.
Before that, he was also doing a side hustle as a model. So, yeah, hopefully he didn't use that money to place bets. Oh, there we go.
There you go, Fabio. I showed them to you.
There we go.
And Shane and we're wearing the shirts. I really like this one. So this is I think it's called a digital camo, red and black by Coach. So this is the fourth kit from last year. What we'll see is that they've actually changed the partner for this year. So now it's Pleasures. Interesting. I've never heard of them before, but apparently they're also another streetwear brand in Miami.
Lines up well with the Durex jersey.
It does, but this one, it's. I know it was quite in quite a bit of demand, and
Fabio
I picked
owns
one
this
up myself.
You've got one, have you?
Yeah, you know what the worst thing is with this jersey, right?
Go back. Hosni, go back. I like the jacket.
The jacket's lovely, right? But the problem is so I made the cardinal decision, or the cardinal mistake.
Cardinale decision.
Cardinale, right, decision of washing it on too high a wash, right? And because it's just made with fucking adhesive, there's no stitching in it, right? So it's such a shame, like, because it's literally probably one of my most favorite jerseys from the last decade.
I wanted to ask you guys this, and that's a great point, actually, Shane. These expensive shirts often are selling for £100 or more than $100 for people in the US and stuff. What do you think about the fact that a lot of these graphics are just printed on, and with just not being ultra careful with washing, they come off? I've noticed, for example, this hat is good because it's a new era hat, right? It's embroidered on. That's embroidered on. You see, that's solid, yeah? But shirts, a lot of the time now, I understand the players, when they're playing, they need something light. But maybe they should think about, for people who are buying these for streetwear, for outerwear, get an embroidered version so that you get your money's worth and it lasts a long time. I don't know how you guys feel about that when you've worn your shirts. I used to have a Maldini and a Shevchenko shirt, and both of them, after time, I wore them when I was playing football as well, but the letters just fell off after time. And what do you guys think about that?
I can tell you the reason, John, and let's all face it, the real reason is that they do these things is to keep the cost down. So all these shirts are coming from my part of the world, so this is all made in Asia. I've seen the locations: Vietnam, Indonesia, Cambodia. So this is some of the common countries. So what I've noticed is that, especially when it comes to the fabric, it's essentially just a template, and they Puma or Coach, they just go to a factory and say that, okay, here's the design, and just make it. So these factories, to keep their costs down and keep the profits up, they're going to do these things, yeah? So I know for a fact, and we've seen these videos, a lot of these glued parts is actually glued in the Milan store. I don't think the Coach one.
God.
But
really?
And don't Puma make their jerseys out of a certain part recycled plastic?
Yeah, but it's just the fabric. But let's face it, these shirts aren't built for durability. And I remember the days. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember the days, and I think this was back in the last time I bought, when I was a kid, when I bought coincidentally a Baggio jersey. It was made in Italy, I think. Those were the days, yeah. How long ago was that? But now it's never going to be made there because we're going to keep the cost down.
Yeah.
But I think it's that thing as well. Like people became somehow okay with. If it's a decision where, even like what I said with my one, right, where the arm piece is basically falling off now, it's kind of like people came to the decision that it's completely okay to go and just buy a new one instead of repairing what they have. You know what I mean? Like, whereas this, I need to get it repaired, and I will get it repaired because I'm not going to buy a new one. But it just depends on, whereas other people, then they just go and buy a new one, which makes sense. So the club knows that, okay, so someone might go off and get like 2 or 3 because they know that they'll be a fucking idiot like Shane was, who'll wash it on too high a hot wash and the fucking sleeves will fall off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It bugs the shit out of me, though, to be honest, because I buy quite a lot of stuff either for golf, and a lot of the graphics are printed on. And, the first time when you don't know, like you've done, Shane, you don't quite know. So you put in your normal wash and the graphics have just fallen off. You're like, geez, I just spent 50, 60 pounds on that. And it's in the bin, basically. Like, It doesn't look anything like I bought it. It's just a frustration. I wish they did 2 versions. I genuinely do. One for streetwear and one for playing, because I understand. But yeah, Hasni, as you said, economies of scale, isn't it?
Yeah. But you know what happens when you overwash your shirts? Another thing that happens, you get this sort of kit. So this is the Neiman, and if you guys remember the story behind this kit, it was designed by a Milan fan. So I don't know which era he was supporting. Maybe it was the one with the Bunga Bunga parties, because you would have to think that I don't know how this got approved, that the printer is essentially out of ink. So again, to reduce costs, you just use the colors, but on a certain section of the shirt. If you ask me, I think this is a half-assed job, and what they should have done, and what I know some other fans did do, but it wasn't on official jerseys. They actually drew the pictures of players in the white sections. So
that was class, man. Yeah, I remember seeing that, and that was beautiful. Yeah,
really, I want to see some of that. That sounds cool.
They actually did that.
Like, really made the jersey, really did.
Wow, that's quite clever. Yeah,
but you know what the problem with that was, though? So when you looked at it, right? So it was players like, Hullet, Van Basten, Rijkaard, Shevchenko, Kaká, right?
Wow.
All club legends, right? But when you looked at the back, where they basically put the names, they couldn't, I guess for copyright reasons, spell the names correctly.
Oh.
So like it kind of took the sheen off it, and that's why I didn't get one. If I could get one, right, where the names were correct, I'd buy 2 or 3 of them, because they were stunning looking. Absolutely.
Okay.
This is a special one, but this is the previous Off-White.
My God, help me.
And we have a former player who is maybe about to win the Scudetto for his first time in his life. Modeling this.
Prime Pirlo, as they say, these days. The Inter fans, Prime Pirlo. This is gross.
So one of the things that I think why this particular brand didn't work for us is that, I know they signed a long-term agreement, but this is stemming from the Banta era. So they weren't any... if you see the design, it's more towards the formal, the classical look, not towards the streetwear that we see with Off-White. So it's you could say an image that we want to forget. And there's another image that we all... I don't think that's Tonali, by the way.
Is it? Are you sure?
Is it Tonali?
That's got to be Tonali. It's 100% Tonali, man.
Yeah.
Okay, he shaved. He has a bit of facial hair.
That's probably when he was like 14.
So what fits this is that's the type of like really dodgy attire that I'd assume you'd wear when you're going to the bookies on a Sunday.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Actually, if you work at the bookies, I used to wear a tie like that,
but
sense. Blue.
There we go. Makes sense.
But you want to see some more PTSD?
Oh God!
So another one, but this is a decent one. This is the collaboration with Rolling Stones. Shout out to Gio. I think Gio was still looking out for the bomber jacket. But the bomber jacket was sold out, but you can still find some of the pieces available in the Milan store. I think they felt that they saw that the demand wasn't too great for this capsule collection. But I think it's quite decent.
That jacket is dapper though. I like that jacket. You'd wear it with jeans or something, but no, I like it.
I get the Rolling Stones thing. That's why the tongue is out, but not for me. Fair enough.
This is a special piece, by the way. This was on sale a few years ago, 2022. This is an inspiration drawn from our 94-95 jersey by a company called Slam Jam, another streetwear brand. And if you see, there's the Milan logo, but on the other side is also the Slam Jam logo. Quite interesting piece, so they went for that retro look. Had I seen this, I might have. If I seen this when it was available, I might have actually bought this one. It's something that's quite special. You might not like it, but I think it's quite unique. A bit of the old school retro vibe.
The shirt, I know it's old school retro vibe. It's just the back. It's that Slam Jam written on the back that I'm like,
you will get slammed
walking around. Yeah.
And the thing
Uh,
is look at it's just such a turn out. Look at the logo on as we're looking at him to the left of his chest. It's obviously not going to be the original one, but like it just takes so much away from the jersey.
Yeah. I don't know who the sponsor was at this time, but back in the 90s. Was it Lotto?
well, I mean, Opal is
94.
Yeah.
94, 95, I think, somewhere around that. So that would have been Lotto, I think, yeah.
You want someone to slam jam something in your back. Exactly.
Fabio,
I'm not
that's it
sure I'd
today,
walk
man.
around. Yeah, I would not be walking with that, but okay. Ooh,
How about this for PTSD? We had
Oh,
a model in our
cock.
squad for quite a while, for 2 years. I
Did I
think.
just? Oh, Koshe. Sorry, I just said oops.
Yeah.
Are we getting banned for me saying that? Sorry.
So,
Oh, damn
thanks,
it.
Fabio, for the correction in 96. But yeah, this is another towards the streetwear. But what's interesting about this collection, they actually made dresses for ladies, something that I haven't seen other collections before. So yeah, I guess they tried to appeal to the ladies or the female supporters out there. Quite admirable, but they use what was called a upcycle, was it? The recycled fabrics, they used it, excess fabrics, and they made this.
Yeah.
Looks
Again,
like junk, though.
yeah, not for me. But you can kind of think maybe it's a limited edition kind of thing. You might keep it in a collection. I could
Yeah.
see that.
I have the jersey, but I have the jersey version.
Ah, you should wear it, dude.
I'll muzzle it one day,
Yeah.
when I'm better shape. This is the Paper Planes. So this is another very short time collab. Paper Planes is a brand that's owned by Jay-Z. So Jay-Z, through his company, I don't know whether he owns it entirely, Rock Nation, they came up with this special capsule. There was a trench coat, there was another jacket, but yeah, it had a special drop for Milan. I think the
I'll be
t-shirt looks
curious.
unique. Yeah.
I'd be curious how much the jacket costs. I really would.
Nothing about that tells me it's anything to do with AC Milan, though.
No, it doesn't. It's quite low key, but yeah, this is official AC Milan collab.
It's just the color, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's
Shane?
about it. Yeah, there's nothing else going on there.
I'm curious. I might just quickly Google Paper Planes coat price. I just want to know.
$600. I'm gonna guess.
Probably AC Milan.
I managed to buy the t-shirt. This is the only thing I got from this collection.
I mean, can you even get any of this stuff anymore?
No, you can't. This is how limited it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god! So that coat on the back had
Yeah.
Milanista on the back of it. It's
Yeah.
horrific.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I don't like it. I'm sorry, I didn't know it had that massive. So there you go. Now you know it's Milan. It said Milanista like this in an arc at the back. In a kind of like even like printed on letters. No, thank you.
So Fabio raised a good thing. Yeah, they also had a cap. I have it as well. Yeah. The Paper Planes cap, the AC Milan.
Dude, okay. AC Milan Paper Planes lifestyle collection.
This is a special 120th year jersey. Our home jersey at the time was something similar. It just had the gold lettering, also they didn't have the 120th year. We will see something a bit different for 125th year, which is, I think, is next year. So, yeah, this is actually worn during the game, and we didn't win that game. It was a 1-1 draw, if I'm not mistaken. So, what do you guys think? Puma being lazy, 120 year, and the best they could do is just change the color of the font.
No, the best thing.
I mean, isn't that
Suso is your most recognizable player.
I think that's related to this, isn't it? That's what this is.
Yeah, that's the 120th cap.
Yeah.
Crest white or gold. I don't know, man. Gold has that vibe, you know. It does. I love it. I like it. You know.
This is another special drop, but this is not exactly Milan, but it's Milan inspired from a brand called Pata. So they took, this is the 88, I think. Yeah, 1988 season. It looks, in my opinion, quite nice. It's actually polo. Sorry, allow me to move the graphics a little bit. Maybe able to see it clearly. Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah, the badge is different, isn't it?
It's class because it's way more casual than like. Do you know what I mean? It's just streetwear at that point. It's not
Yeah.
like, oh, you're going to watch a game or something. I like that, man. Dig that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
And
crest does look like fucking Sampdoria's crest or something, doesn't it?
It's
a little bit. You're
what is
right.
that?
Yeah.
Looks like a jaguar. Yeah.
So, yeah.
But you can tell it's for based on Milan. Look at San Siro in the background. This is what they were going for. Milan inspired.
Yeah. Kappa
And the
does some good
last,
stuff.
yeah, they did. I wouldn't mind having them back. Yeah. And the last drop that I have is sorry, the picture's not that clear, but this is our Diesel AC Milan collab. I think this is one of the earlier collabs to really push us into the streetwear world with the brand. You can see a lot of the players that no longer with us. So we have Lux out there. Yeah, they're all standing around looking like a bunch of prostitutes. But yeah, this is a sort of
What's
Is
going
that,
on?
is that Caldara in the background behind Bonaventura? I think
yeah,
it is.
it's Caldara. That's how long he's been with the club, by the way.
Yeah.
Laxalt and Samu is there on the other side. So yeah, it's I would say their first try, and I thought in terms of the brand placement, it wasn't that great, or it wasn't really complimentary, because if you see where we're at now with Off-White, which is, you could say, at a very high tier, Diesel, I don't think they're equivalent. So yeah.
Yeah, Castillejo, Bonaventura, Laxalt. Who is the guy right there? It might be Caldara at the back.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
Caldara and Cotrone, yeah.
Yeah. Cutrone, yeah, that's right. It's up front and Caldara at the back. Wow.
Where is Cotrone nowadays?
Ooh,
I think Serie B, I think. Yeah. That's not check.
Is he? It's such a shame, dude, because it was kind of hype for him for a bit. It's like, and I always wanted to see him do well, because it was like he didn't want to leave, but he had to go because he was sold, right?
Yeah.
I always hoped it worked out well for him. Doesn't seem to be doing that though. Mm-hmm. Well, Fabio Caldara should have retired years ago, man. He's still on our books.
He has a pension. He's not really playing. He's just in the club earning a pension, really.
Didn't they do something weird? Like they actually extended his contract for like
I don't know
another
what
year.
they're doing.
Did you hear?
Yeah.
They did some. I'm convinced he's like a pyramid scheme. I'm convinced that he doesn't exist, right? He's been AI'd. Like
I think it's some kind of deal with Italian players in the squad that they're necessary. That's what I think it is.
I know, but geez, the salary he's on as well. Like, because remember he would have came over that time, so we got him from Juve, right?
Yeah.
I think, and he would have been
apparently
on
he's in
like,
Como, Cutrone, by the way.
Is it Como?
Como, Serie B.
Yeah, Serie B.
Ah, man, I hope he rocks out, dude, because I have a soft spot for that player.
All right, well, those are the collabs that I have for this particular segment. We'll move on to the preview for the Europa League.
Cool.
All right, so yeah, this is the preview that we have for the Europa League against Stade Rennais, if I pronounce it correctly.
Rennes, I think.
Rennes.
Oh.
It's so sad that we don't even know. Yeah.
So for the French speakers,
an animal.
So for the French speakers that we have in watching, if you can just make correct us in terms of how to pronounce it, we would appreciate it very much. But if you can see the past few games that they've played on the left, and as well as the players that they have, they're not a bad team actually. So one of the things that we really have to point out is that they're on a bit of a streak. So look at the games that they've played. Yeah, they've won. Some of them, you could say convincingly, some of them not. But this is a team that we shouldn't take lightly because we found out that we can lose against Udinese when they haven't won previously in the league. And in terms of the lineup, it's 4-4-2. They played recently. So yeah, I'm expecting actually quite a balanced match. And they do have quite a number of players that are highly rated, if I can say that. For your awareness, Jeremy Doku was playing in Rennes. He moved to Man City. So they sold them, and that's how they made a profit for the season. So what do you guys think? Will it be straightforward, or are we going to be disappointed?
Well, I'm just looking there. They already have 2 right backs. So, I mean, they have one up in us on that score. Because we don't. We've we have Florenzi.
Musa's right back.
I know.
What do you mean, Shane? Musa's a perfect right back.
Now we have Florenzi, and then we have some other guy that likes to show up wearing a fucking armband every now and then. Yeah. Don't know. But can you imagine though if we lose this game? It's not gonna go down well for a lot of reasons. One, for the monetary impact as well. Like, if God forbid if we do end up going out with this joke of a competition, that's gonna be huge, man. Because that literally means that I think there's gonna be a star player going this summer anyway, right? But on top of that, that could mean 2 star players, right? So I mean, this is huge.
Yeah, if I could just add, it's about levels, really. So they are in 7th place in the French league versus 3rd place in the Serie A, a top 5 league. So, yeah, John, I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I looked this up. Rennes are in good form at the moment. They I think unbeaten in at least 6 games, so they've found a bit of form. The biggest issue they've got is that, from my reading here, on let me just see what the source is. Football Italia, their star cam Enzo Lefebvre has just picked up a serious hamstring injury, so he's going to miss both legs of the games against us. And not only that, his backup is also, which is Fabian Reda, has a fractured metatarsal, so they are going to be in serious trouble in that position against us. So putting all of that together, with the fact that our squad seems to be, at almost full strength, I'd say we should go through, right? I don't think we've got any excuse not to go through. I've heard in the Italian media that, and I haven't watched Rennes, but I've heard from the Italian media that they're quite a physical and fast team, which is not good for us in terms of the centre-backs that we'll be putting out against them. But it would be really embarrassing if we went out to them. So I would probably back us to go through. Pioli has to. I mean, we have to get past this lot to get into the actual next round, right? And be in the draw for the next round. So all I want is that big game. That's what I want, is that big game against a big club. And this isn't it. So let's just take them seriously. As always, I've always said it. We've got the ability to be playing at the team of any opponent. It doesn't matter if they're in the relegation zone. Take them seriously, beat them, and then let's move on. But they've got some, because of their injuries, I think that is enough for us. We should go through.
Because young boys are still in this tournament.
Are they? You're joking me.
You do. And they played the Wankdorf.
What?
So this is why that's actually the name of the stadium that they play at. It's the Wankdorf.
Young boys. I think he's right, Husney.
I know. I am
right.
I am. So for that reason, we need to play that team.
It's actually called the Wankdorf Stadium, Husney.
We need to wear that Neiman jersey if we play there.
I came to the Wankdorf to see young boys play. That's it.
Yeah, Nico, you're probably right. Most French team play that style. It makes sense. It makes sense. So let's see. It's when are we playing that game? Just remind me again. Is it Thursday? The mighty Thursday nights.
Yes, it's Thursday.
Thursday night football.
Thursday night.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and look it up.
And does that mean then that we're going to be playing on the Sunday, or are they going to do that annoying thing where we start playing on Monday? Because then that completely wrecks my week if we're playing on Monday.
I need to look at the fixtures, dude. It's not loading for me at the moment.
Oh,
so we're playing Thursday 8 p.m. My time. And then I'm gonna check Sunday whether we're playing on Sunday at 7:45 p.m. my time. So late night game on the Sunday against Monza.
Monza. Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
So next week we'll either be completely enraged or somewhere in the middle, because we got Napoli and Stade Rennais at home. By the way, is the first game against Rennais. No excuse. I want to see a few goals, guys.
No, but we have to get past this team. I mean, seeing how the fixture congestion is really building up, we will probably pick up more injuries, and form is going to be very important, because if we take a big hit in the Europa, it's probably going to carry over into the league. That's just our story, right?
Yeah.
We can't just seem to turn things around.
Yeah.
It is the financial impact, though, I'm really concerned with, like, because seriously, you know, this management, this ownership, like, they're gonna, you know, if there's a situation where even if we qualify for the Champions League, right, if we get dumped out in Europa, like, very early, I mean, that's all going to have such a huge knock-on effect in terms of the Mercato. Because I mean, we've gotten really nothing in January. So if we go through another Mercato where there's like very little activity, even worse.
You raise a good
like,
point. If we lose or we exit the Europa League, what are we playing for already? Are we really trying to force a second place?
And here's the thing:
our story for the season.
But here's the thing as well, like, and I could see something really annoying happening, right? That let's say we get like a striker, right, and we get this dream striker that we always wanted, right? And next thing then it's like, to get that we've had to sell Mania. So it's like we're constantly like robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? And it's I just want to see like a good 11. That's all I want.
I agree. I think a lot depends on what happens this summer in terms of a potential person or entity to take on the loan. Shane, so much depends on that for us, for our future, for what we can look forward to in the next year. Because as you know, and as so many have said, you've taken on Elliot, and they might drop a warship-sized problem on Cardinale's lap if they don't pay off that loan. So I completely agree with you. But I'm going to say it. I'm just going to say, I don't care if people hate me for it. We're playing limbo football, guys, for nothing. We're just in the middle of it right now. We're in the middle between second and fourth. There's such a gap in both. Even getting second, what's the point?
No, it's just even that thing of, even if we got to let's say the Europa League final and we're playing in it, it's just not the same as the Champions League. Yeah. It's not the same,
Right.
Sucks,
I want us to take. I just want a really exciting game against Liverpool. That's what I'm looking forward to. I have to have something like that to look forward to.
You get it like 6-0, like getting battered for like.
Yeah, and Nico, I think you're right. With a competent coach, we might be able to do something different. I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna. What do you think how true this could be? If we do not find a taker for that loan, we keep Pioli for another year. I think it will happen.
I'm resigned to it already. To be honest, this ownership, they're going to value like the balance sheets first, right, before anything, and they will, and that's so the only way that Pioli's getting the shot is, God forbid, we don't qualify for the UCL.
I know, Nico. I know. It's just the reality, I think. Anyway,
strangely, it to me it seems that, and you guys have seen the rumors, right? Forlani might be leaving sooner than
Yes.
Pioli. Yeah.
Yes.
If that's
So-
the case, though, Husney, right? The thing with that, and if that is the case, then that means essentially that the only way that that's happening is if Elliott are no longer in
Yes.
control, right? Or no longer have
100%.
any vested interests. So that means already then that there's been new investors that have already basically signed up, and we
Yes.
haven't heard that, and they couldn't keep a lid on that, surely. So like,
Yeah. I
I
agree,
just don't see it happening. Yeah.
Forlani is an Elliott man. As part of the 600 million loan, they put in place the CEO that they wanted because it's 50% ownership of the club, basically. The fact that if Forlani leaves, it would mean that Elliott are stepping away. And I think that would be the indicator. And so the
Shane
hope,
would be happy, but yeah.
I think all of us would be happy. Would some of us not be happy with that? Really?
Because remember, John, there's a certain amount of the fan base where sporting results don't matter. What matters is having a positive balance sheet and rocking up in the fucking Europa League. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, there are some. I am not into numbers. Okay, I'm not here. Oh my God, can you imagine? We need to have an Inter fan. We need to have an Inter fan on our podcast, and we need to have a conversation.
Yeah,
An open
Fabio, what
conversation.
are you busy, Fabio?
Bang. Let's do it. We need to find one and have that conversation, because I want to know how that conversation would go.
Yeah. So if any Interisti are watching, just drop us a message on our Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Yeah, then we'll put you on the next spot. Special. Make a special all about you.
We'd love it, and I promise we will not be petty, because we're mature enough.
And we're third.
Speak for yourselves there. That's
we will not be jealous. We will not be petty. I know, Husney, in your family you've got Inter fans. Oh my God! Oh my God!
No.
Here we go.
He's
Oh.
No.
Let's not do that. Okay. Cool. Are we doing a player in focus this week, Husney, or not?
No, I didn't have to set up. I think our next player in focus, he deserves his own special. Because he is that special. Really, he is that special.
He is that special. All right, the next one's going to be a player in focus. Okay, fine, cool. Then if that's the case, we are done for this week. Looking forward to the game tonight, guys.
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Hoping the money comes in.
Yeah, I hope we can see the money flowing, especially into our balance sheets. But I just think it's the moment. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, listening. A number of you are listening on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, so I really appreciate it. And if you have any topics you want us to cover, please drop us a message on Apple Podcasts. I think there's a FAQ or a question box that allows you to put any topics you'd like us to cover. We'd be more than willing to do so. You can also reach us on our Instagram, TikTok account. Yeah, and also on Twitter. I think we're monitoring all the socials. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Please follow us. Because I noticed quite a quarter of you actually are watching without subscribing or following. But we appreciate it anyway. Yeah. So any little bit helps the channel.
Subscribe.
Nice, Shane. Nice. All right. Awesome. I'll speak to you soon, guys. Have a great week, and let's win tonight. Forza Milan, okay?
Forza Milan, everyone.
Let's do it.
Italia!